Are you the woman they're looking at and they're saying, how did she evolve? How a woman evolves is personal, but I've noticed that there's five through lines between the evolution of a woman and how she wants to expand herself. First of all, she knows she's using her intuition when she does do her evolution, how she evolves in her marriage, how she evolves in her family and friendships and business, whatever that evolution is for her. There are e- unique and identifying ways in which you can identify if you are the woman who evolves, or if you looking at a woman and you said, how is she evolving? So one of the things that I've noticed, because I've noticed it in myself, I noticed it in myself, is that a woman who evolves steps into uncertainty with creative passions. She has a passion and she doesn't care what the uncertainties of her outcomes are, because she knows she's going to learn and evolve through any ups and downs and learnings and unlearnings that she is required to do. So her creative passion, when she steps into that uncertainty, is step one or step two or step three. It's a part of those steps. And so in my own life, when I am moving into a new genre of understanding, say, for example, this YouTube. Now, I've had a YouTube channel for over a decade, but I've never taken the time to really understand YouTube. I just post or upload and then I'll delete it. And because I didn't have a way of, let's see, owning who I was in a way, because I was still learning and growing in my own evolution and my soul evolution versus just doing random videos. Now, in my coaching life is through work. I'm a master at that. I can sit with someone, read their energy, understand them, support them in navigating their lives quickly. But when I looked in the mirror, for some reason, somehow there was always uncertainty in which direction that I needed to go. And I learned that my decision to not step in with the creative process, because I wanted to not be perfect, but I wanted to be correct, or I wanted to be right on the right path, coming from a background of, religion where you got to stay on the right path. Well, the right path is any path that you're on. That's my new understanding and process. So my mind evolved, and I evolved out of that. Whatever path that I take is going to be the right path for me, because it's going to reach me to the destination that I need to go. So that's how I know I evolve. And so are you evolving through your uncertainty, creating a way to be uncertain and having a creative process to through that uncertainty? Yes? No? I'm just saying. Also, one of the other things that I notice within myself and that I've noticed in other women who evolve is that they don't look for rules. They look for revelation. They don't look for rules to say this is the way to do it and it's such a narrow focus. They look for the revelations that they want within their own soul, with their own mind. What gets them started and say, and think. And they're thinking not just out of the box, they're not even in the box. They're thinking in a way that expands who they are, their container, their hearts, their souls, their bodies. That's the revelation that they're looking for. And whew, the work that I've done over the last 15, 20 years on my own self through the grief process of my mother, my brother, and my dad, all passing within less than 3 years of each other, not with each all within less than 3 years, took me in a tailspin of self-discovery, and self-development beyond my understanding and measure. And it's just grown and expand more than I can ever know. And I am grateful and thankful, not for their transition, but for me stepping in my uncertainty with the creative process and looking for revelation and not rules about how life is supposed to be. The next thing is that I had to unlearn a lot of stuff. I had to unlearn to remember. And I've noticed that a lot of women say they remember, their soul understands, their soul knows, and they verbalize that. That is the part where I was like, wow, they're remembering, meaning that they've connected to their divine person, that whether they're spirit guides, whether that is divine love, God, their angels, whatever that higher purpose is for them, the universe, the creator, whatever name they give it, they have connected to that person or that entity or that spirit, that life force, and they know that now they are just a part of all of that, and nothing's missing and nothing's broken in their life. They're not broken, they're a whole, and they're experiencing life in just one entity, just one little microcosm of something. And then when they're unlearn that, they see, they know that they can remember so much more. Yes, it's a lot of unlearning in this human journey, a lot of unlearning. And how do you do all of these things? Well, at one point, you have to learn to be still. You have to unlearn the busyness of life and you learn to be still so you can hear. And so you can understand your intuition. You can understand the whispers and the next steps the life is bringing you. I see life as just a bunch of what do you call them? Bridges. Like every decision, some people say a fork in the road, but I also say it's a bridge because a fork in the road, when I look at it in my mind's eye, it's level and you just have to go one way or the other way, right? And but with a bridge, there's this arc, right? You start at this low point and then you move up and then you come back down. And so this arc of learning, of being unsure and meeting a peak of something, whatever that peak is. That peak could be love, abundance, or whatever. And then there's a downflow. It's just like a heartbeat. So that's how I see life. There's just a bunch of bridges. We just keep going over a bunch of bridges or a bunch of hills. But I like bridges because bridges allows me, I don't know, I just like the word bridge. It's like whatever it is for you, but that's how I see it in my mind's eye. I'm crossing one bridge to go to another bridge, to another bridge, to another bridge. And what's underneath me, I can utilize a river and I can toss my worries in the river and it takes it on. So I think that's why I like the bridge. And one of the other things is knowing how, if you're evolving or the person you're looking at and wondering how she evolves, is the connection to all things, connection to that divine love, connection to having your energy just continue to process and move things throughout. Yes, you're going to utilize your intuition and you need to be still. Yes, you're going to go into uncertainty. Yes, you're going to have to unlearn some things. And all of this goes with, is like packaged up in a present, packaged up in a present. This it's just packaged up all within not just your intuition, but into the decision to say, I want change. When you say, I want change, then all these other possibilities start to open up and you grab them one by one by one by one. You're stitching a new life to yourself, as they say on the tapestry of this world. And that's how you know you evolve, and that's how you know she has evolved. So, this video is short. I love you so much. But those are my epiphanies for the moment. I hope you learned something. If any of these you feel are you are experiencing at the moment, put it in the comments. If um, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate the subscribes. I believe I got another 5 subscribers in the last couple of days, and it just makes my heart just jump open. It really does. It really does. And so, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit it. Give me a like, put it in the comments. I'm a real person. I'm not AI. I will respond to you with an open heart. with true messages. Okay. So, and if you didn't know who I was, I'm Coach Hunt. I'm a holistic self love coach who navigates my life through my intuition so I can have the best life and have all the desires of my heart because my desires come from spirit. And so when he or she, divine love, creates those desires for me, I just move forward. So if you're open and you're willing and you're a woman of who wants to navigate her life through her intuition so you can reach the desires of your heart and navigate the life the way God intended through our connection with divine love or spirit or creator, whatever that is for you, then come join me in the journey. Yes, come join me in the journey. Be a part of the community. And yeah, so I love you so much. It's Coach Hunt, and I have your greatest interest at heart.